welcome to Bookish Quests and Body Reps, the series where we don't just read our books, we live them by reading them and getting workouts that go right along with them in case we do get sucked into those pages. Now, this week we are reading The Serpent's Coil by author Timofeev. What's awesome about this is the first of 6 founding authors for fantasy, fitness, and food, which means that we're gonna get a workout at the end of this video, but if you want an entire month workout program with 2 mini challenge walking quests and some recipes inspired from the very pages of this book, they are going to be over in our community, so you can get a little bit more of a deep dive. And as you read the book, we'll be reading it as a group read, so you'll have someone to discuss it with as well. Now, maybe asking, okay, what's the book about? Don't worry, I got you. No. Alone in the world, Mira does what she needs in order to survive. And when her actions lead her to the gallows before the 13th year, she latches onto the one person offering salvation, Lord Julian, the King's Viper. But being one of his serpents comes with its own hardships. Lessons in poison, espionage, and assassinations push her to her breaking point, unleashing a power not seen for thousands of years. Hiding her dangerous new gift, she accepts her role as the headstrong princess's bodyguard. Now, she must balance between a world of lies and lost knowledge. And destiny forces her to make a choice. She will have to figure out if she can live with the repercussions of her actions or crumble under the weight of unwanted expectations. But with demonic forces clawing their way to the surface, ready to devour every spark of life, she may not have enough time to figure it out before the world turns to ash. Now, I know what you're thinking. RMC starts as 13, okay? Orphan on the street, and we're going to age up in the book with her. So this is kind of like that Hercules training montage where he goes to see Phil and he's a young kid, no muscles, and he goes through his mentorship and comes out on the other side, the strong Huck we know. And that's what's going to happen to Mira here. She's going to go into this training, not quite as weak as Herc, okay? This girl is a strong badass from the beginning, but what's going to happen is she's going to start out an orphan child in the streets in a little street gang that has to tithe to the criminal underworld. And, if I was training to be a thief in the streets of a city, there'd be a lot of climbing, pulling myself up, jumping. Think parkour. Don't worry, you can do this at a local playground, but working on that climbing and that agility. And once she gets caught, we move on into our series of steps that helps her train to become the spy and assassin she is by the end of the book. And the next step of her journey is kind of the learning the ropes of the forest, if you will. And even the author in her interview said if she had to think of one workout that would most prepare you for her world, it would be any kind of hiking and endurance. So that would be another thing that I would consider as we're going through our series. Then we get to that noblewoman type training. Interestingly enough, she gets trained with a bow staff as she kind of learns the art of the court and how to get information. So that courtesan, noblewoman type training is going to also have a little bit of spy assassin type training too, because you have to learn how to read people. One of the things I absolutely loved about this book, which is not something you see a lot and I picked up on when we in the beginning, when we're Mira 13 years old, when she's eating things, they're like flaky pastries or maybe chocolate, but we don't get a lot of descriptors. As she goes through her training, as she gets older, her description of things improve, where, when she eats a meal, it's not a flaky pastry, it's roasted pigeon, garlic, green beans, rosemary, butter type things. And I liked seeing that character development where it kind of shows that Mira's getting older, she's becoming more mature, she's taking these lessons, she's growing up into a young woman. By the time she does make it to the court, she is a adult woman, 18, 19 years old, and she is ready to start not only practicing as a noble, but figuring out what her secret mission is. And towards the end, when she has herself become, instead of the teacher, the student, the teacher, a little Miss Congeniality reference at the end, if you know the soft parts of a body. And I chuckled as I read this because in my interview with Kay and Timofeev, she brought up Miss Congeniality, and not even at the end of that day, I read it in the book. So are you ready for the full workout? And don't forget, If you want to read the book with us as a group read, check out Link My Value. Come join our community. Come hang out, read the book, work out with us, live the story as we go through our first featured author and the world of the Serpent's Coil. Mira is trained to be a noble, which means we're going to have to do some curtsy lunges. Pretend that you're grabbing your cape or your cloak or your dress and you are dipping low to those monarchs who you are being introduced to. They have no idea that you are a spy or assassin. Next, we're going to grab our bow staff and we are just going to do some 360 halos, bringing that staff all the way around behind us to the front, making sure that we're going both directions and not just swinging one all the time. After we have done that, we're going to keep our bow staff and practice some swings low. So we're going for those shins, trying to knock those bad guys over. Just think about every time you run into a chair, we're trying to do that to the bad guy. We're trying to take them down so that they don't get us. We're going to move right on into those overhead hits, pretending that we're trying to take some skulls out. Maybe someone has attacked us in a tavern. Maybe we're just going to assassinate them and hit them as hard as we can over the head. That's what those overhead strikes are for. And lastly, we're going to get our heart rate up and we're going to have some fun. We're just going to use that bow staff. Picture as many enemies around you as you want, as you just go to town, taking them out, using those overhead strikes, those swings, those halos. You can throw it if you want to have a little bit more fun, try to catch it. It'll improve that hand-eye coordination. And remember, if you like this workout, Kay and Timofeev is actually one of our featured founding authors. And this month in our group, this is our group read. And we're getting a full workout program and mini quests to go along with this. So head on over to the group and come read with us.